Hey you all, happy Tuesday. I am obviously not in my garden today. I am in my kitchen and I'm getting ready to make some lunch. I have been doing a lot of research lately on female hormones and I want to say the health things that we as women are prone to. And because of, our bodies having different needs because of our hormones throughout the month, I just have sort of made a decision to eat differently, to do life a little bit differently. I went through kind of a long stint there where I was really letting myself just have whatever I wanted. And while I think balance is good, you can't go hard on the health and diet 100% of the time. And I think, again, we need balance. We need to enjoy life. We need to love the things that we're putting in our body. But, when it kind of becomes a bit of a habit that you're putting maybe not so awesome things in your body a lot, which I do, unfortunately, I think like many people get into habits sometimes of not being very disciplined. And so I just decided that I'm going to work a lot harder on being way more disciplined in my eating, and trying not to let myself get into lulls where I don't move my body. This week is a closed week for work. Those are typically the hardest weeks for me to remember to move my body, but I'm just making a full commitment to try to ensure that I'm doing that. My honey and I have decided that we're just going to get up now that the girls don't have to get to school in the mornings. We're going to get up in the morning, go do a walk, which is about 3 miles, and I'm making a commitment to just try to eat a lot more healthy, a lot more clean. And I think for different people, health means different things. I would like to lose a little bit of weight. Not a ton, but a little bit. And, I don't have a ton to lose. Again, I move my body pretty regularly, so I think I'm, pretty healthy. But we're going to make lunch today, and you're going to help me, sort of. I know I haven't done kitchen stuff, but I am in the kitchen very often. Again, usually on the closed weeks for work, my honey kind of takes over kitchen chores, just because I have less availability. But I thawed some chicken last night, so I'm going to make a big chicken salad for lunch. We are working on doing meat chickens. Probably ordering them in July and getting them in August, and then planning to butcher in October, November. And so we will be having our own meat birds. For now, however, we do not, and so we get most of our meat from Costco. Just because for how much meat we do consume, price-wise, it just makes the most sense for us. I'm going to pound these chicken breasts. Some of them are kind of on the thicker side. one of the things that I'm doing just to change up, again, how I've been eating, is to limit my carb intake to the morning. I have done that before, and for me it just works really well. I don't think taking out 100% of carbs is, for me, reasonable, especially when you're working out. I lift weights as hard as I do. I mean, your body needs carbs, but it needs good carbs and things that are not heavily processed. I'm not a health professional in any way, but you know, I do have some basic working knowledge of like health and nutrition. I'm gonna just saute these in a little bit of olive oil, and then wash everything up, and we'll get to making our salad. It is hard to be disciplined like 100% of the time, and like I said, I think balance is really key in that regard. And so I kind of like sticking to the 80-20 rule. Alright, so I just seasoned my chicken with a little salt, pepper, some turmeric, cumin, and paprika. Pepper got me. Ooh. I'm gonna wash all of this stuff up. Raw chicken off of it. For me lately, I'm finding things like sugar are like one of those things, like the more I have, the more I crave it. So I'm making a really concentrated effort to cut out sugar unless it is fruit, and again, try to keep most of my fruit intake to the morning. Everything that I have read says that your body processes different things at different times of the day a little differently. So carbohydrates and sugar, your body's a little quicker to burn those in the morning rather than the evening or afternoon. Obviously, I think that is also like related to you know, greatly related to what your activity level is, the kind of activity you're doing, whether you're doing weights or cardio, you know, calisthenics, whatever the different kinds of things that we can physically put our bodies through makes a big difference. And so again, like, it's just different. But you know, I know for me, like, I don't exercise typically in the evening. I used to exercise after work when I had to go into an office, and I find, you know, being able to work from home, it actually just works better for me. I tend to have a better workout. If I am, you know, running or lifting weights or doing whatever I'm doing in the morning, it just works better for me. Some people, it's the opposite. And I used to also not really enjoy like eating very early in the morning, but I think with getting up and doing those walks that we've been doing, it kind of kicks my metabolism into gear start a little bit more quickly. And so you know, I was hungry at like 8 o'clock this morning, which usually I don't eat breakfast until 9 or 10. So And I have heard a lot of things about intermittent fasting and how like it's really good for you. I know for me, like, for me to try to wait until 11 o'clock in the morning to eat, like, I would get really, I think essentially, like, I would get so hungry that I get nauseous because I have tried that before and it just doesn't work for me. So, you know, my kind of general rule is, and again, this is just me not being a professional, but really sort of tuning into my body more the older I get, is just, you know, it's like listening to your body is really important. And when you kind of get to know your body's cues of like, oh, like I'm really hungry, or oh, I'm really dehydrated, you know, it does you better to pay attention to those cues that your body's giving you rather than ignoring them to follow a fad diet or something like that. All right, I'm going to grab some veggies out of our refrigerator. Turn the chicken real quick because it looks like it's in a bowl. You guys ever go into your refrigerator and find like moldy vegetables that you didn't know were there? I hate wasting food, y'all. It is literally the one thing in life that I despise more than anything else. Second thing I despise more than anything else is plastic used to wrap vegetables that we don't need. We do have quite a lot of produce growing in our garden, and it will be coming in quite shortly. We are past our season where we could reasonably grow things like lettuces, spinach, all of that. It bolts, and all of mine has bolted thus far. So, you know, we got good harvests actually throughout the fall and winter, which was really awesome to be able to grow our own food and have that available to us. We ate a lot of greens, but you know, it's early June and we're starting to have days in like high 80s, low 90s, and that is too hot for the vegetables that we were growing. Now I know that there are some bolt resistant varieties, and things like Malabar spinach is actually much better for like growing in warm conditions and warm climates, but I just didn't have seeds for that stuff this year. It's not what we grew, so I'm looking forward to, I look forward to every gardening season, to be honest with you. It did not get crazy cold. We didn't get a lot of snows this past winter, so we'll be growing all of those things again in the fall. I'll be starting my lettuces probably around August, end of August. And things like Brussels sprouts. I have yet to successfully grow a Brussels sprout. We're gonna try. So, one thing I do know, y'all, is like a lot of store-bought salad dressings can have really bad oils in it, and just like everything else, just like seasonings, which is one reason why I buy like organic, either grow my own herbs or buy like organic only herbs and spices, is because a lot of that stuff has really harmful ingredients in it. It can be super inflammatory, and it can, you know, when it's like inflammatory, it can be inflammatory to your joints, it can be inflammatory to your gut. There's lots of different ways that can be bad. So typically, I will use herbs and spices that are organic, or I will look for clean seasonings. And then for dressings, Primal Kitchen is great. I like their stuff. But I just made this dressing the other day. And dressings are not my strength, y'all. Like, I'm not really good at making dressings, but I found a recipe. The base of it was Dijon mustard. And it was really, really good. There was like Dijon, honey, you chop up an onion really fine, minced garlic, I put some thyme in it, some cider vinegar, and then olive oil, and dressed that on an arugula salad. It was fantastic. So good. Alright, got some tomatoes. And we do have things like our cherry tomatoes are starting to flower. I've got canning tomatoes that are already starting to develop. We'll go down and do a garden tour here shortly. And when I get some time in the next couple days, we'll go down and do a garden tour. But our summer veggies are coming in quite nicely. That knife needs to be sharpened. It's no kitchen hack, y'all. It's like slicing tomatoes. It's hard if your knife is not sharp enough. You need to keep your knives well sharpened. Believe it or not, it actually helps prevent like slipping of the knife, which is alright, I'm gonna check my pantry. I usually stash olives somewhere. Oh no, you know what we have? Better than olives. We have got banana pepper rings. Ha. Not banana pepper rings, pepperoncini. I like a bite to my salad, you know. And these are great because they're not like crazy spicy, but they add like a little bit of zing, which I like. Alright, I'm going to check my chicken, see if it's done. That's beautiful. I like char on my chicken, y'all. It's delicious. See that? Fold in. Beautiful. And this one breast is probably like 6 or 7 ounces would be my guess. One thing with protein, y'all, is like, especially as women, I think sometimes we think like we don't need as much protein as guys do, but quantity wise we may not need as much, but like in relation to other things we eat, keeping your protein high really helps to cut back on sugar cravings. Again, just for me personally, I have noticed that it greatly helps. And I do like to do a vegetarian option, you know, every once or twice a week for dinner, but that doesn't mean that then there's no protein there. Chicken is good. All right, I'm gonna grab my dressing that I made. It's a little solidified because there's olive oil in it. Stir that up. Oh my gosh, I can smell the garlic. It smells so good. So good. Have mercy. All right, y'all. I think that was like less than 30 minutes. And we've got this beautiful, healthy lunch salad. Yeah, that's it. I'm just going to be taking a little bit better care of myself, a little bit better care of the things that I put in me. And again, not related to summer or anything like that, just really simply because I have not done a good job of that. And, you know, again, as women, like, we need to be really careful about our sugar intake and, you know, those things that can kind of sneak up on you and really affect your health later on. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.